What up? It's T-Double, Kinetic Studios. You're watching your OneSpot.com. My earliest memory of writing a rap was at Maplewood Elementary. Like, I was maybe like 8 years old, 7 years old or whatever, and we had a class project to talk about the bones in the body. So everybody wrote it down like this goes to this, and I wrote mine in a rap. It was a poem, but I said it like a rap, and everybody was like, that's kind of cool. So then I started getting known as, you know, the kid who was into hip hop. My dad had a friend who owned a record store off Airport called Bebop Records. So every day after school, my dad would go see his friend. They would hang out, and I would just like go through the records and find, you know, Sugar Hill Records and Sequence and whatever. So those were like my two pivotal moments where I was like, okay, I dig what's going on here. DJ Casanova, because, you know, he used to pick me up and take me to DJ battles. I used to carry his crates to shows. He was one of the first cats putting out albums when he moved here from New York on vinyl. He toured, one of the first cats toured. So I learned a lot from him just by being around him. You know, just being in the room and being quiet. Sometimes being quiet is the best thing. Just sit there and peep game. Don't yap all the time. Just sit there and be like, okay, that's how, you know, that's how he's getting it. Like Kaz, Clay Mo, who was the MC of, you know, Project Crew, you know, Lady IC and KB, you know, Simply Mackin', you know, a lot of those cats were putting out vinyl. You know, Papa Chuck, of course, you know, when he got signed to Pendulum, you know, and he started making moves and doing things. So those are my influences locally, and those are great influence to have people at that time who were just bringing everybody into the circle, but still, you know, their whole point was how to progress the scene, you know. And I think nationally, my influences, man, you know, when I started, man, I was really into LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? Which I think a lot of people, when they see me, they kind of figure that out. Like, I was into like the rawness, the battleness, the spitting, the Kangos, which, you know, I still rock Kango. Like, it was all about LL, man. I was just like, he could do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? He could do no wrong. Like, the kid was ridiculous with the rhymes. It was just that hunger. You know, nowadays a lot of artists don't got that hunger in their style. It's a way of being. To me, it's spiritual. It's like when you wake up and you feel like it's the best day you've ever had, that's hip hop. When you see your child or your mother or your father, your best friend, that's hip hop. Hip hop is an everyday flowing event to me. It's kind of hard to nail it down. It's more than a bad shape. Musically, lyrically, artistically, locally, I think you know, we have a lot of talent here, but not a lot of people looking for the guidance to develop their talent. You know, like everybody can rap, everybody, you know, can make beats, everybody has GarageBand, everybody has laptops, so it puts them in a mind state that they're already at a point without really paying dues to get to that point. And I think there's a learning curve locally that needs to be, you know, stepped up, whereas when I was younger, like, you know, not even really younger, but like back in like 86 or whatever, when Project Crew and all them were doing things, we watched them. Like when they made records, we were like, how'd you make that record? How'd you record that? How'd you mix that? And it wasn't egos. It wasn't like, I already know, so I don't need to ask you. It was like, show me. And I think on a national scale, that gets into a bigger picture of dealing with labels and, you know, them looking for the one-hit wonder and the dynamics of artist and label relationships, where a lot of artists now aren't really into being the next Rap-A-Lot. They're not into being the next Def Jam or No Limit or Sick With It or whatever. They want to be signed to a label and, you know, get all the perks that come with it without really grinding and having something to negotiate and barter with. So I think the knowledge base is what's really lacking locally and regionally, globally. It used to be where it was based on lyrics, like I can rap better than you, so I'm gonna show you how I rap. Then all of a sudden it came to a point where it became more about the drama and exposure to sell records. So then the whole violent aspect came into it. We're fighting and, you know, beefing at award shows and all those things. So beef used to be good. Now it's a horrible thing because it doesn't It doesn't progress the movement. Beef doesn't add to anybody's street cred. You know, it doesn't make you a better artist. It doesn't make your career last longer. It actually makes you a worse artist and makes your career shorter. So it's a backwards only genre of music where there's an age ceiling. You know, where it's like, once you get past, I'll say 28, 25 maybe, then you're considered old. You can't flow no more. You can't sell out venues. You can't whatever. But rock, Rolling Stones, U2, these groups go on to their 70s. So they have a better respect for their art form and keeping that legacy. Whereas in hip hop, it's like, you know, once you reach a certain age, everybody's like, you know, you're done. But most of the older cats can outrhyme any of these younger cats any day because the younger cats didn't follow the path that the older cats took as far as lyrics, as far as performance, as far as, you know, learning your craft. So cats who've been doing it for years can still run circles around whoever. Big Daddy Kane can murder Big Sean. You know, easy. You know, DOS Effects can, you know, put a hurting on, you know, whoever's out there now trying to do something. Is, you know, so that's just a mind state. That's something I think the label puts out there so they can keep selling those records to the young kids and keep them kind of dumbed down and not really know about the history of the art form. Yeah, when I say it's an art form, I mean, like, you know, there's many elements to it. Like there's rhyming, there's DJing, there's b-boying, there's graph writing, you know, and now there's the entrepreneur aspect where cats are taking all those elements and expanding it globally. And I think when you look at it as an art form, you appreciate it more. You know, when you hear a Miles Davis record, that's art. You know, even when you hear a Beatles record, it's art. But when you hear hip hop, it's like, you know, people say it's garbage or it's simple or because they're sampling. But what other genre of music can take music from another record, splice it and cut it and replay it and all that? That's taking textures like paint and making a whole new picture out of pieces that were, you know, already released. So that's what I mean by being an art form, authentic. You know, when you hear my music, it's authentic hip-hop. It's not like I'm pretending to be a gangster. I'm pretending to be this, I'm pretending to be that. Everything I rap about and I make is factual. My music is emotional. You know, I make it all, I produce it all. So when you hear my music, it's that authentic. I bring, you know, when people hear my music, they can go back years down the road and say, yeah, he was still like that. I haven't changed, I haven't diverted and said, now I'm going to be bling bling, or I'm going to be flashy, or I'm going to be gangster, or I'm going to be hipster, or I'm going to be, you know, skinny jeans, or I'm going to change my image or my look and all that, which is cool for those people who do that. But for me, it was like, I got to be me. I got to be Tyranny first and T-Double, you know, second. So I got to be authentic to what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, so what I'm going to do right here is break down one of my tracks off the new album. It's called Inspired. And it's more of a jazz track, which goes back to me saying what I was saying earlier about me being original, me being authentic. Is that, you know, my styles vary on the record. So to break this one down, I started with kind of a jazz bass line, and I chopped it up on the MP to make it its own groove. You can hear that a little bit. So I have the bass line going, and then, you know, I kind of added the drums to it. That kind of kick, because, you know, the kick that I have has to sound like it's from a jazz kick. So it can't be a hard, heavy, you know, heavy kick. It has to fit into the groove. And got, you know, the rim shot, just like a jazz, you know, kit. Somebody playing a jazz kit. Some hi-hats. So it kind of swings, you know what I mean? Count them, how many surround him to hound him and down him. Whenever his rocket takes off in the sky, they act like they found him. And now then, your attention is focused and mentioned. Maybe you'll follow more closely. Texas got more than those slow beats. Oh please, you're tipping and stomping. I'm ready my comp when somebody steps up. Don't happen too often. Each battle I'm starving, so put your best up. The way I did my vocals is I treat my voice as an instrument as well. So with the flow that I have, it's more melodic and not just me just rapping. It goes more with the track where as if I was a sax player or playing a flute or something. So it's more melodic like that.
Now much more than I take, did can be late with creating the clap.
And then my friend Kevin Flatt, who's an amazing horn player, I made the track here, sent it to him. He laid the horn parts at his spot, and these are his horns right here. So it's live horns and there's no sample.
Now let me just you lay in your butt.
And this is how it sounds with everything in it right there.
Brad. So as I'm scrolling through my mind, and I suddenly come across
oh yeah, I got it. Also inside of this track, I have my Moog, which we were probably scanning around to the gear, but I have the Moog keyboard from the late 70s, which like P-Funk used and all those type of guys. So I added some of that in here too, just a little texture. But in the mix it's kind of low, but it still adds a little vibe. It's kind of panned a little bit. And here's some more trumpets at the end when Kevin just kind of vibed out on it and just kind of doing this. So that's Inspired, and that's basically a combination of live instrumentation along with MPCs, a combination of hip hop and organic music combined to make that track. So that's on the new album, God is Galactic. That's called Inspired. So there it is. Yeah. So if you want to get at me for beats or production or mixing or whatever, just go to tdouble.com. You know what I mean? It's an easy place right there.
All right.